there, I'm Chris and welcome to my channel. This is an up close and personal, very, very up close, ready for my close-up recap of the Bachelorette when they all go to Thailand. Becca has 3 dudes left and they are Blake, Garrett, and Jason. So just like a little recap.
Blake has a square head. He was very hot, had like a very tragic high school experience that we all know every detail of. Garrett is like an ultra conservative who's like really, really boring and was married before.
And then
Jason, honey, is from Buffalo, New York and like has a gay brother.
he put ranch on her face.
That's what he did to Becca.
In the previews, I just want to say, like, why does Garrett sound like a newsie? He's always like, all I want is Becca's hand in marriage. You know, Blake is up first and he just like slips on his slip-ons, some sort of shoe that is like easily put onable. And
It's a word.
Becca's so excited to see him. She gives him like the Becca welcome special, which is like jumps on him, legs first, you know, like a little koala. So the first thing that happens is they're gonna go on this like hike to this like special temple and like they can't touch while like on the hike, like on the sacred ground of the hike, okay? So they have to like get it all out at first and it's like very touchy-feely and like Blake is like super into her and it's like super hot and like he's tall and he has like a very strapping upper body, which I'm very into, you know what I'm saying? Like everything up there is like fine, totally, because of like what's happening here in this part of him. Then it's like, oh, we can't touch, and then like kind of like start walking in still holding hands, and I just feel like a producer had to be like, no touching was what it was. Drop those hands. Then like they get up there and honey, the most awkward scene happens with a monk. Okay, so this monk like is like gonna come up to them and Becca like already, instead of like letting the monk like greet Becca however he's supposed to greet her, she's like, hey, what's up? And this like poor monk has to be like, good, how are you? You know, whatever. I'm like, that's not racist, that's like what he sounds like. And then he's like, so we bow first to show respect. And she's like, oh, okay. And she like bows. And then she literally has a soundbite where she says, meeting them was so old and cultural and like nothing she's ever experienced before. Old and cultural is how she described her meeting with a monk. Cultural being Thailand. Old being, he wasn't old because the experience of like the religion's old. It's like the way of life is older.
It's so old and cultural to meet you. That's a compliment. I'm Becca.
So the monks like give them relationship advice and it's like a little bit like, I don't know if you guys know what you're talking about. I'm just saying like how many relationships am I seeing up here? You know what I'm saying? Like romantic. Am I seeing any relationships? Maybe you tell me. But anyway, it's like very old and unspecific advice, just like how she describes them. Honesty, compromise, patience giving. Yeah. Yeah, I guess, sure. But then like afterwards, they kind of like quiz each other. Were you paying attention? Were you paying attention? Blake was paying attention, honey. He like listed them. He listed them like how some people list the 7 dwarves and like wait around for someone to ask them.
Have you ever been one of those people or have you been in front of one of those people who like, I can name the 7 drawers, and they're just like, sleepy, bashful. They're just like, okay, so excited. I cannot do it, obviously.
I had to.
However, personally for me, Blake is definitely like the front runner. I mean, at one point he like walks down the steps and he has like a little Sandy behind, like a young Drew Barrymore in those copper tone ads. It's so cute. You guys know what I'm talking about when Drew Barrymore was like 2 and she was just like doing that like copper tone ad, like, what, this Sandy bum? That's like what happens. Just that Blake is so hot and he just loves her so much. It's like quite a combination. He just like loves her so much and like just tells her all the time. But I really want her to pick Garrett. And I think that Blake should be the bachelor. I don't think she deserves anyone but Garrett. But honey, they go on their nighttime date and it's raining, a la like Garth Brooks' Thunder Rolls video. Like it's like, I don't know. I picked up a foreshadow. I don't know if that was just me.
And it's fantasy card time and honey, like they're down. They're very down for it. Obviously, they wake up in each other's arms. Honey, she has full face Kardashian makeup. I get it. I get it.
All night setting spray, Urban Decay. We don't know. Then it's time for Jason and Becca's date. And this is like, okay, Thailand and her style really agrees with me. And this date with Jason, she's wearing like a little frilly like 2-piece. Okay, so but it starts to unravel. Honey, she like talks about the future. She like says a comment to him and then like she like in that moment it's just like, wait, I can't see a future with you. You know, but that's not what happens. She does what Becca does best, which is just like leaves the situation. Like once Becca is like feels anything, she like leaves the situation. She's like, I'm out, bye. She like forgets that she's like in this world. Can you imagine if she did this in real life? Like I wonder if she actually does this in real life. Like if she's just like, in the middle of a situation with someone and like when something happens, she's like,
oh, I have to go in this other room for a second. I'm gonna just go in this other room. Bye. Don't follow me.
no, honey, she goes and like kikis with 2 producers. Like, honey, she's like squatting behind a tree, like pouting and pensive. Honey, she's like leaning over a rail. She's like wiping tears, or she doesn't feel good. She's like, something feels weird, something feels off, honey. She like talks to multiple people about it, except for Jason, you know, like she can't. So then she goes and like talks to Jason, but like then doesn't say anything. Then they go to the nighttime date and it's like, why don't you just tell him right there what you just don't like him? But I think she wanted us to see her outfits. I'm fine with that. Because it's like a blue, like wrap floral dress. And I'm like, yes, yeah, okay. This is why we have to see this date, fine. You know, but like they go on the date, honey, and like he tries to toast her like to our lives. And she's like, yep, great, cheers. Cheers. It's like so awkward. And then she does it again. She's like, can I have a sec? And then she bounces. She's just like, up and out. Becca, my God. So she sits back and she's like, pretty much like, I'm not into it. And then he still tries to like worm his way into the fantasy suite by being like, but if you have any thoughts that it could possibly still work in any realm, honey, or like time zone, or like whatever reality we're in, think of all the other realities, and if any of those realities has a possibility that we could work out, like, we should go in this fantasy suite and check it out. He like tries to get in. I mean, it's a little bit like a lawyer. Like, Jason, are you a lawyer? You should be a lawyer. And it's just like, first of all, hot and sweaty in Thailand. If you didn't think it was going to be hot and sweaty.
These people are sweating.
I can't imagine what I'd be like. My whole face would be wet. Oh my God, Thailand. But basically, she's like, no, you know, like the other 2 people I'm more into, or I have like things that are stronger. And he's like, whatever, okay. And then she's like, can I walk you out? And because he's a gentleman and has seen the show before, he's like, yes, I know how this works. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Chris R. So she walks him out. Honey gets in that Uber XL, you know, like, and then she's bathed in the red brake lights of the Uber XL, honey, and like he cries and she cries, whatever. It's like, how many times can I see this scene? And the answer from ABC is for the rest of your life, I guess. I just keep watching the same scenes over and over again. Different people, same scenes. It's like watching a play, like a Chekhov play, but different actors. You know, everyone brings something new. Honey, and then Becca just runs to the bed and like jumps in the bed and cries with her shoes on, you know, like one does. And I honestly feel like one reason why she didn't want him in the fantasy suite is I feel like, and I get this, that she kind of just wanted like a night alone in a beautiful hotel room and like sleep in a king size bed by herself. I think that like, that's what I want sometimes, which is just like a night off. She probably like put on some Netflix. She probably ordered room service, or they already had like some fruit there. She even have to. She had a whole bottle of champagne to herself. Great. Talk about a fantasy suite. That is my fantasy suite. Okay, so now it's Garrett and her time to shine. And they do this like cool thing, which I really was going to be into, which is that they're going to like bamboo raft, okay? And at first I was like, does the whole bamboo get under the water? I didn't know what was happening, but no, like somehow it floats. I mean, I don't know like physics or whatever, but the bamboo floats. And at first it's like super romantic and quiet, but honey, that river stream quickly turns into like the 405 during rush hour, which ironically I'm about to go down, which it's like so many people because it's like a national holiday, I guess, and people do this bamboo rafting to chill, but also just feels like how they get to places. Some people are just off to the side, like you'd be on a stoop, like having like a time, like people are like partying like they would on yachts, but on these like river rafts, you know, and like they're doing it and they're like knocking into people and their rafts are going over other people's rafts. And then like at one point people just start splashing them, which I low-key was like, is it okay? And I also was just like, this water does not look maybe as blue and clear as like waters I've seen before. Yeah, and they're just like getting all in it. It is murky. You know what I'm saying? It's like river water. Murky river water. Or I don't even know what the water is from. I don't know the source. So if I'm being ignorant, fine. But I'm just saying from the looks of it, it was just like, what's in it? I wonder. That's all I'm saying. What is it? What else is in it? I wonder. is it clean? And you know Becca was upset because she thought she was like a private situation, honey, and it was not. Then Garrett says that, you know, he was like afraid before because like, or had cold feet to go on the show because he didn't want to like have his heart broken again or whatever. But like it happened and he's here and he tells her he loves her, you know, and she's just like, finally, you know, she loves it. Like when a man tells her he loves her, she gets like a Care Bear stare. And she's just like, I look at him and see my heart's equal, which is like a pretty emboldened thing for a Bachelorette to say, like before we're even at the like the last episode. I picked up on it and I was like, yeah, that's who she likes. I feel like the most. And that's fine because I think that Blake is too good for her. And I think that her and Garrett are perfect. Honey, and they just like wake up in a fantasy suite. Like, you know, they go to like this like tree house fantasy suite, like but they have to sleep in a tent because it's like Thailand. Can you imagine the mosquitoes? But like it's like glamping, and they actually say that. And like it looked fun. I can't imagine the sounds. Like it was probably a noise machine of like rainforest sounds that they had to go to bed to, but like who knows if they even went to bed.
She's like naked when they wake up. I mean, it's like great. You should be. This isn't like shaming her. It's like, I'm just saying that is the truth. Like she's into Blake and she was into Garrett and she wasn't into Jason and that's what happened.
At one point in the confessional, she's like, Garrett told me he loved me and all the reasons why. And I want to be like, yeah, I bet you she was like, what are the reasons? List them. I'm Becca. This is my show. And then because they know that like the producers probably were like, Jason, do something to make this some sort of dramatic. They make Jason go back and like try and talk her into like picking him or something. I don't even know. But she doesn't. Then she decides to have a rose ceremony for the two people we already know that she's going to pick because she already picked them and they love her. But she's like, it's all because I want to make them pick me. Like they both told you they are in love with you. Like no one's going to be like, I'm in love with you. But I'm not going to take that rose, honey. I'm going to leave. There's just really no drama happening. So after the rose ceremony where she gives the two guys left remaining the two roses or whatever, they're like, we're going to go to the Maldives. The Maldives. In my whole life, I have only heard it saying Maldives. So I'm going to let you guys leave me in the comments how you say that situation. Is it Maldives, like diving into a pool, or Maldives, like ask Jeeves?
Yeah, honey, and then there's like another part of the preview coming up where she like walks off and says she's sick or something. I mean, God. Any other Bachelorette and all the other ones have been better than her.
Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my videos and please go ahead and follow me on social media. If you don't, it's at Chris L. Farah, honey, and the L is for Lebanese.